Hello, beautiful people. I hope you are having an amazing day. It is Dr. Stephanie, and I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes and share this amazing epiphany, kind of blew my mind, that I had about my business and about strolling. Yes, stay with me for a minute and I'll show you how the two connect. But it all started when I went to an event. It was a big anniversary celebration event for my sorority. And at the celebration, some of the younger sorors were doing something called a stroll. And that's not a new concept. It's something that I've done, that many people in many organizations do. And I'm going to explain to you what a stroll is. But the reason that it was an epiphany and it kind of blew my mind is that as they were doing this stroll, it dawned on me that this stroll was very similar to how I run my business. Okay, stay with me. I am going to connect the dots. But first, I'll explain to you what a stroll is. So a stroll is a choreographed dance. It's a very short dance that moves in a sequence and it repeats over and over around the dance floor. Members of an organization do it to express their solidarity and their love and their excitement about their organization. And this is the reason why it reminds me of my business. When you do a stroll, like I said, it's choreographed and it's a very short choreographed piece, but it's a rinse and repeat. And it's perfectly done each time with an added little flair each time. And that's very similar to how my business is. I've been in business for at least 4 years now. And what I will say for me is that it was not an instant overnight success. It has been a consistent, powerful rinse and repeat of just about doing the same things over and over. But the wonderful thing about it is that there's so much joy. There's so much joy in a stroll, and there's so much joy in strolling in your business. Because when you try to hustle and grind in your business, for me, that leads to exhaustion. But looking at it like a stroll, there's some things that I'm going to do consistently. I'm going to rinse and repeat and do them over again. And each time I might do it a little bit differently with a little bit of flair, but it's still at a pace of a stroll. Not a sprint, not a grind, and not a hustle. And when you first start in business, I know I did. I thought that, things were going to happen like this. But what I've learned is that with that consistency and with that repeated effort and with that joy and with the fun and the energy of it, things happen when they're supposed to happen. Momentum builds, just like as people are strolling on the dance floor. People who were too shy to kind of step in and do the steps with them start to gain a little bit of confidence and they join in. So you gain people along the way. And then some people who've had their fill and get a little bit tired start to leave the dance floor and they're going to stand back and be spectators. The same thing has happened in my business. I've gained associates, I've gained business partners along the way, and during the time where we were strolling together, it was in perfect harmony. But things changed. They may have a different focus in their business, I may have a different focus in my business, and they peel away. But they're still conscious observers because it was something that we were both in solidarity around and we had a shared goal. The other thing about how my business reminds me of a stroll is that if you're doing something that brings you joy and that you love, you can do it forever. I mean, you can be on that dance floor strolling all night long because it's something that you enjoy and something that you're passionate about. And there is no race to the finish line because you are doing your dance. You are doing what it is that you were meant to do. And that's how I feel about my business. There's no race to the finish line. I could do this forever. I don't think about retiring from my business. And so I approach it like a stroll. The other thing that's similar is that when you are strolling, people are automatically attracted to your energy. you draw a crowd. If you've ever seen somebody strolling or a group strolling on the dance floor, there's the stroll in the center, and then there's a large crowd of people around them. And you kind of have to push your way through just to see what's going on. That's what happened, and that's what has happened in my business. As you continue to do what you're supposed to do, people will be drawn to it, and you'll start to draw a crowd of customers, a crowd of followers. I've seen the numbers of people go up and up. Sometimes I get a complimentary session, and my first question is just, how did you learn about me? And I'll be surprised to hear, oh, I've been reading your articles for years on LinkedIn. That's what somebody said to me that I just had a complimentary session with last week. Because the authenticity of what you do draws people in at the time that they're going to be drawn in. So it's not a race, it's not a hustle, it's not a sprint, it's a stroll. And I am loving strolling with my business. I'm loving adding a little bit of flair each time, but keeping the basic steps the same, because the basic steps and the consistency is what is bringing me the clients, the income, the built momentum, the brand recognition, all of those things that a successful business needs. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're an entrepreneur or you just started a new business and things are not happening overnight, maybe you're grinding, maybe you're hustling, and maybe you need to shift to strolling and enjoy the process of your business, because you were drawn to do it because it's something that you love, something that you feel called to do. So just enjoy it, have fun, appreciate the energy, and let the people see you and come to you. All right, that's what I wanted to share.